Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Our broadcast portion of Game 6 includes the Yankees' first and second innings. That would be the bottom of the first and bottom of the second, most of the ninth inning, and then a long NBC television postgame, which includes the wrap-up by Mel Allen and some interviews by Frankie Frisch in the New York Yankee dressing room after the game. As promised, let's begin in the bottom half of the first inning. The Dodgers did not score in the top half, so the score remains 0-0 with Gene Kelly at the mic and the Yankees at the plate.
In the last of the first, Carl Daniel Erskine, Hoosier-born right-hander, is going to face Gene Woodling, Joe Collins, and Hank Bauer, two lefties and a righty. Woodling has shown defensively as well as with the bat. He is not as hot with a stick as he's been in previous World Series, but he's had his share of base knocks, 4 for 16, including a leadoff home run yesterday and a couple of RBIs. He's always been a consistent 300 hitter in these fall classics, but his throwing, particularly a peg yesterday, which nabbed Gil Hodges at the plate, has made everybody bug-eyed out here since Woodling was never rated a good, strong thrower. But this chunky pro, and a pro he is in the strictest sense of the word, is a good guy to have on your side. He bats them left-handed, and he stands in there with a stance I like to call King Cobra. He springs out of it as soon as he finds the pitch he likes. They shade him toward right with a wind predominant toward right field today. It is breezy and cool as Erskine goes to work for the first pitch. Outside on a fastball, ball one. Frankie Crosetti coaching at third with the great all-time catcher Bill Dickey at first for New York. No score, first man up, last of the first. Erskine fires a curve outside, ball 2. 2-0. Now right away, the crowd, many of which was here on the opening day, starts recalling that this fella had so much trouble in the first inning of the game he hurled here at the stadium on the 30th of September. 2-0. Wide, ball 3. The first day, Erskine had trouble with his fastball and curve, mostly his curve. He was quick. The second time out, it was his curve which really won for him. And he was particularly effective, mind you, against left-handed batters, especially Mantle and Collins. 3-0 to Woodling. In there, a curve on the hands, strike called. Last game against Woodling, Erskine fanned him once, and Gene singled and batted in the second Yankee run. First game, Woodling walked against him, but that day, Gene batted 6. 3-1. In there, another curveball taken, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Erskine is a straight overhander. He never monkeys around at all with sidearm or fire stuff. Lean, good hands, not tremendously big in stature. 3-2. Full count. The big one. A swing and a foul to stay alive and pump up the tension. It lands right behind the press coop, and one rider makes a beautiful ricochet grab. I don't know his name, but Paul Jonas, a mutual, will probably identify him for us because it was a wonderful catch. 3-2. Brooklyn Papers Lou Niss, he's the sports editor. Grab that one. 3-2. Again, the full counter. He walked him. It was a low curveball that broke at the toes. Now, lean Joe Collins, who currently lives in Union, New Jersey, and was born and reared in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Erskine was a bit wild even in the day that he struck out those 14. Pitch to Collins. Inside a ball. This is the fella he fanned, you remember, so often. 4 times in that big game. And perhaps the most exciting game of the whole series. From the standpoint of pathos, in which a fellow who had been taken out after 1 inning came back and beat the club. So Ford is more or less in the same position today. There's a very low throw to first to Hodges. The runner was on the bag, and Gill had to backhand the ball. Did not land in the dirt. 1-0 to Collins. Strike. Now, it'll be interesting to see how the Board of Strategy wants its hitters to swing or take, especially since this fellow had so much luck against the Yankees last time. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 on, nobody out. Last to the first, no score. Infield and double play depth. A fair speed on the base paths at first, likewise at the plate. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a wicked inside curveball. Strike 2. On opening day, Collins also walked in his 1 turn against Erskine. That was the inning of the 2 triples by Bauer and Billy Malton. Seems like ages ago, doesn't it? Yet this is the 6th game. 1 ball, 2 strikes, Erskine ahead. A swing and a foul, landing in the press scoop again and behind, and yet another Scribe grabs this one, and he's just as happy as a fan would be. Plenty of action. You see this press scoop and radio roll is right behind home plate, and again a Brooklyn Papers writer grabs a baseball. Still 1-2 on Collins. Very odd close stance, deep in the box, but on the near side of the box, close to the plate. 1-2. Woodling leads. The pitch, the swing and a miss. He struck him out for the 5th straight time. Now Erskine registered 14 strikeouts in the 3rd game of the series, and he struck out one man, Yogi Berra, in the 1st game. That is his 16th strikeout in 3 games of the World Series, and of course he's in an excellent position to record the largest number of strikeouts ever by a pitcher in the World Series. This is Hank Bauer, the right fielder, batting right-handed. This guy looks like a leatherneck, I'll tell you. A rugged citizen, born in St. Louis, Missouri, now lives in KC. Inside a ball, 1 on, 1 away, a walk and a strikeout. The hitters should have no alibis on shadows today. There's just no sign of sun at the moment. Ground ball toward the hole, through the hole, left field, base hit. Woodling turns second. Ball fielded by Robinson, returned to Reese. A single through the hole by Hank Bauer, and the batter is Berra. This series has set a record for money to be paid the winners and losers, but the attendance record has yet to be broken. The Yankees and Dodgers in 1947 drew a grand total of 389,763 cash customers. And I see by the Gillette World Series record book, that's a lot of people. Before today, 244,981. And even if this thing does go 7 games, that would be quite a mark to bust. Al points up the fact that Hank Bauer was born in East St. Louis, Illinois. That's right across the river, and you don't want to take anything away from that Illinois city. Now here's Berra. There's a drive to right, a base hit. Here is Woodling turning third. The ball gets away from Furillo and bounces into the stands. A ground rule double. A ground rule double. The ball carroned off the glove of Carl Furillo. And it goes as a ground rule double, and the Yankees lead on Erskine 1-0. Yogi Berra, who up until that moment was hitting .438, grabs his 8th hit of the series. And now Erskine's in a jam with runners on at second and third, only 1 away. Yogi Berra gets an RBI, his 4th of the series. Now they're going to put on Mickey Mantle. That also is Berra's first double of the World Series. Now that ball was hit into the right field corner. Furillo gave it good effort. It hit off his glove and body and went over his shoulder right in the corner at the 296-foot mark. There's ball 4, issued intentionally to Mickey Mantle. The second walk allowed by Erskine. And the bases are loaded with New York Yankees. There has been no question at all about the hitting. Nothing has been tainted. Bowers was a sharp shot to left. Likewise, Berra's double to right. Woodling, of course, scored easily. And now they're loaded up behind the little right-hander. I don't see anybody working from this spot in the Dodger bullpen. And I don't believe anybody has gotten up as Billy Martin stands in. The Yanks' leading hitter in the series. A smash to second off the glove of Gilliam. Here's 1 run scoring, and the bases are still loaded. It'll go as a hit, I'm pretty sure. The official scorers are discussing it. Rudd Rennie, Dick Young, and Joe Cashman. Nope, they've changed it to an error. It's an error. There probably will be an RBI on that. Bauer scored. Berra moves to third. Mantle to second. Martin's hard smash went off the body of second baseman Gilliam, and the Yankees lead 2-0 with only 1 away. Gil McDougal, the batter, hitting at 200 in the series, batting right-handed. The third baseman is 4 for 20. Erskine's first pitch in the dirt, low, ball 1. I haven't received an official ruling as yet as to whether it is an RBI or not. Two nothing New York, trying to make it in 6 games, and the Dodgers know now they have their work cut out for them. The shoe is on the other foot today in the stadium. The Yankees have gone out and gotten Whitey Ford a lead. Only 1 man out here. 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to third. Cox over to second, 1 out. First base, double play. First double play in the World Series for the Brooklyn Dodgers. That was Billy Cox to Junior Gilliam to the first baseman Gil Hodges. If you're scoring, 5-4-3. 2 runs come in. There are 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 intentional, 1 error by the second baseman, which caused a run to score, and 2 men are left on. At the end of 1, the Yankees 2, the Brooklyn Dodgers nothing.
In the top half of the second inning, Duke Snider led off by striking out. Then Carl Furillo got an infield single, and he tried to reach second base, but Joe Collins threw him out on a perfect throw to Phil Rizzuto. So with 2 outs and nobody on, Billy Cox then struck out. So it was, in effect, 3 up and 3 down in the top half of the second inning. And so going into the bottom half of the second inning, the Yankees still lead 2-0.
Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp. Use Gillette Blue Blades with the sharpest edges ever honed. Now, the other day, Erskine was fanning the New York Yankees unpleasantly for the Yankees, and today Ford is turning right around. Of course, his pace nowhere begins to compare with what Carl had done through the first 2 innings of that ball game when he already had struck out 4 Yankees. Now he faces first Phil Rizzuto, the Yankee shortstop, batting right-handed, and the first pitch is inside on a curve, ball 1. Double-checking Gilliam's error was the first error for him. There's a line drive to left center. It's in there, a base hit. Robinson moves up on the ball and gives way to Snider, and Robinson relays it back to Pee Wee Reese, and they're attacking Erskine today. That is the 3rd hit off Carl. A sharp single to left center. Remember, fans, the 3rd Montreal-Kansas City Junior World Series game will be played at Montreal tonight at 8. The Royals lead 2 games to none. Now, Whitey Ford, who's a pretty good hitting pitcher. He didn't get to the plate the other day, but during the regular season for New York, he batted .267. They're looking for the bunt, however. He takes full cut, a line drive, right field, a base hit. Rizzuto's going to go for third. Furillo is up with the ball. There's the peg back to second. The pitchers have gone hit happy in this World Series, and there's some action out there in the Dodgers bullpen. I saw Walker get up, but I didn't see the pitcher. That was a good right field single as Ford crossed up the defense. He did not butt and lined a single to right field. Clem Labine, who was the best bullpen specialist for Dressel this season, gets up. And Erskine is in trouble for the second inning in a row. These are hits 3 and 4. Nobody is out, and dangerous Gene Woodling stands in. Are the Yankees out for an early rout? Well, we'll see. Woodling walked and scored in that first inning rally. Left-handed batter takes inside on a close curve, ball 1. The way the pitchers have been hitting in this series is quite a caution. I know Lowe's has a couple. Erskine has one. McDonald got a hit yesterday, and he had only 097 all year. But you can expect it from Ford. Little Johnny Padres got a hit yesterday, too. 1-0. Change-up, strike called. Now, ordinarily, that's Erskine's best pitch, the change-up. It's a tough pitch to throw when you're in trouble and nobody's out. You have to have supreme confidence in it. Infield and double play depth. Ford with a warm-up coat leads off first. A swing and a foul upstairs. Left side out of play. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think the beauty of any World Series is the changing of complexion from day to day. I mean, here's a guy, Erskine, allowed 4 runs in the opening game, comes back and strikes out 14 Yankees in the third game. And then Ford, he gets taken out after 1 inning, and today he's pitched beautifully so far, and now Erskine's back in trouble again. He's ahead of Woodling, however, 1-2. Rizzuto off third, Ford off first. The big pitch. A swing and a drive to left field. Robinson fairly shallow. The runner at third is tagging. Jack grabs. Here's the throw back to second. He gave up on Rizzuto, who scores easily the third run. Jack figured that by going to the plate, he would allow Ford to pick up an extra base and get himself in scoring position. So he played it cautiously and percentage-wise, as Woodling gets credit for a run driven in with his fly to left field, deep enough to allow the fast-moving Rizzuto to tally the Yankees' third run. The RBI for Gene is his third of the series. 1 away, a runner at first, and Joe Collins the batter. Erskine has struck this fellow out 5 straight times. 0-for-1. I correct myself on that. The last time he was at the bat, it was the final out of the ball game, a tap to the mound. He has struck him out 5 out of the last 6 times he's faced him. My many thanks to the Messrs. Zuzolo and Helper on that one. There's another swing and a miss, strike 2. I should say that Erskine has taken personal care of this fellow 6 times in a row. 1 away. Ford at first. Nothing, New York. Collins goes into that odd crouch. A half cut, a little grounded to the left of the mound. Erskine picks it up. The throw. Wild over his head. Here's Ford going to third. Hodges chasing the ball. Rossetti holds the runner. There's the peg to the plate. Over the head of Campanella, but Erskine backs up. Here is the scoring. Give Collins an infield single. Charge Erskine with an overthrow of first. It is a hit and an error, and the Dodgers have committed their second bobble in 2 innings to get Erskine in a hole. Of course, this time Carl did it by himself. It was a very close play, had the throw been good. Hodges, one of the best fielding right-handed first basemen of the game, couldn't get it. Now that is the 3rd hit in this inning and the 5th hit of the game for New York. And Collins gets his first hit in quite a while. off Erskine, though he did hit safely yesterday. That's his 4th hit of the series. There is no RBI on that, of course. Matter of fact, nobody scored. Ford went to 3rd. Now this is Bauer, and a curve has fed him outside low, ball 1. Two errors. Erskine and the Dodgers trailing New York 3-0. Only one away. The pitch to Bauer, taken low. Ball 2. Now bear in mind what I said that, oh wait a minute, Erskine is so angry at himself that he snaps at the ball and loses it behind the mound, but nobody advances. Gilliam races in from first and Hodges from short, Reese from short to make sure that nothing happens on the base paths. Ford at 3rd, Collins at 2nd on the base path. 2-0 to Bauer. Outfield shaded left. Hank singled through the hole to left field in the 1st and scored. 2-0 pitch to Hank. Ball 3 outside. Now with first base open, even with the dangerous Yogi Berra, a left-handed batter coming up, naturally he's not going to feed this fellow too much good. There is only one man out. The Yankees leading 3-0, and they have 2 runners in scoring position with the infield up. Right side closer than the left side. 3-0 pitch to Bauer. Too low, he walked him. The bases are loaded again for New York. Bauer at 1st, Collins at 2nd, Whitey Ford at 3rd. And who's ever working in the bullpen for Brooklyn undoubtedly has been ordered to fire him away. Jim Hughes, who pitched very well early in the series, though he was neither charged with a loss nor credited with a win, warming up. He came in behind Erskine in the opener. And this is Berra, who doubled in a big run in the 1st inning. The base is loaded, 1 man out, and dangerous Yogi Berra, the big RBI man, is up there. Squat-built catcher. First pitch, high, ball 1. Berra led the Yankees in the season with 108 RBIs. 1 ball, no strikes to Larry. Change up. Hit high, deep right center field. Snider has room, but the runners are tagging. Snider grabs, heading for the plate. Wait a minute, they're having a jam up. They're having a jam up. There's a throw to the plate. He is out. The center fielder, Snider, to Gilliam, the second baseman, to the catcher, Campanella, and Gilliam had to have his attention called to the fact that Ford got confused and returned to 3rd base. That may be the biggest break of this World Series. It is scored as a double play. The center fielder getting an assist as well as the putout, and the Dodgers have come up with their 2nd double play of the game in the series. Nobody will understand for the time being until they question Crosetti and Ford why the pitcher went back to 3rd base. He got confused. 1 run scores. There are 3 hits. There's an error. And 2 men are left on. At the end of 2, the Yankees 3, the Dodgers nothing.
The Yankees led 3-0 through the 5th inning. And then in the top half of the 6th inning, Jackie Robinson's 1-out double, his steal of 3rd, and Roy Campanella's ground out produced a run, and the Dodgers now trailed 3-1. And that is the way it stood going into the 9th inning, with the Dodgers facing series elimination, trailing 3-1. Gil Hodges began the top half of the 9th inning by flying out to Mickey Mantle in center field. Duke Snider came up, and we're going to go back to the broadcast in a moment with a count 3-2 on Snider at the plate with 1 out and nobody on. The announcer will be Al Helfer from Mutual Radio. Our radio broadcast will end rather abruptly, but you will hear the actual base hit that won the ball game. Then we are going to switch real quickly, as you will see, to the television broadcast from NBC Television with Mel Allen and his description of the action on the field just after the final base hit into the ball game. From there, we go to the Yankee dressing room and the interviews by Frankie Frisch, one of the great players ever associated with Major League Baseball, and a pretty good interviewer, too, as you will see. Okay, it's time now to get to the conclusion of Game 6, one of the great World Series finishes ever. I venture that you can count on one hand the number of World Series conclusions that were as exciting as the one you are about to hear. And that's even if your name was Three-Fingered Brown. Now don't let me down, Al Helfer. Don't let me down.
Now the count of 3-2 on Snider with one out. Nobody on, top of the ninth inning. Reynolds nods. He's in accord with Yogi Berra. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball way inside for ball 4. Snider's walked here in the ninth with one out. That's the second base on balls the Brooks have picked up this afternoon. Carl Furillo is the Dodger batsman. Carl this afternoon has had 2 base hits in 3 times up. A single to right in the second inning, a double to left in the 5th, and a fly ball to center field in the 7th. Well, he represents a tying run for the Brooklyn Dodgers as he stands at the plate with one on, Snider at first, and one out. Allie Reynolds has his work cut out for him here. The Chief delivers. A fast pitch that misses outside for ball 1 to Carl Furillo. Now we've got all kinds of activity down in the Yankee bullpen. The whole bullpen staff is up and throwing. So Casey has everybody on tap. Casey wants to use them. Out of action down in the Brooklyn bullpen, too, in case this ball game should go farther than the 9 scheduled innings. Pitch is swung on by Furillo. Let up curveball, hammered foul off the first base line. Over into the stands, out of play. Furillo kicking dirt down there, waiting for Allie Reynolds to get ready to throw the next one in. Furillo's stepping back up to the plate now. Overly closing the stance as he puts the left foot forward to the plate. Puts that bat high behind his right ear. Duke Snider leads off at first base. The pitch is made to the plate. Furillo backs off to take a high inside curveball for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yes, very much afraid we're going to have a dramatic close to this ball game. Perhaps a dramatic close to the 1953 World Series. Reynolds ready to pitch now. 2 balls, 1 strike to Furillo. Comes in with a fast pitch that's over the knees for called strike 2. Right on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If this game ends this way and it becomes a 6-game series, I see another mark broken. Total of bases. Right now it's 194 as against 167 in the records. 2-2 delivery is swung on by Furillo. There's a long drive down the right field line. It's starting to curve now and goes foul into the stands. Ooh, that was a close one. That sort of electrified the fans here. More pressure shown here in the last couple of innings, Gene, than I've seen in a long, long time. Gene Kelly sitting by here has his hands clasped together.
I hate to be taking kind of heartbeats right now, Al.
Yeah, I know just exactly what you mean, boy. Duke Snider stepping off at first base. 1 out. Carl Furillo with the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Allie Reynolds over his head, hesitates, delivers. Furillo takes high off the face for ball 3. Oh, you can buy pressure by the pound here right now. Fittler has just gone over to say something to Duke Snider. Bolwig standing partway behind him. Partway back to his fielding depth. Count is 3-2 on Furillo. Snider at first. 1 down, top of the ninth. 3-1 in favor of the Yankees, and the Brooks haven't given up yet. Well, let's see. Down comes the pitch. Furillo swings and hits a high foul ball off to the right of the plate, back into the crowd, out of play. Yogi Berra steps off to the right of the plate and fires another ball back to the mound to Allie Reynolds. Whitey Ford came out of the ball game, if you recall. Reynolds came on and pitched the 8th inning and is in here pitching tonight, trying to nail down this World Series. Whether it was just a Casey Stengel maneuver or whether Whitey Ford had a little trouble or not, of course, we'll have to wait to find out. But we do know that Allie Reynolds is in there. The 3-2 count now. Let's see what Duke Snider's going to be doing. He moves off easily. The pitch is made to the plate. Swung on. There's a high fly ball deep into right field. Bauer cannot get it. It's a home run for Furillo to tie up the ball game. Well, good people, we have a brand new affair here at Yankee Stadium right now. Carl Furillo waited till one of the most dramatic moments in the entire series to unleash his first home run. And he hits it into the right field stand as a right-hand hitter, so you know it had to be quite a poke. That one went about 345 feet into the right field stands to score Duke Snider ahead of him. And Preacher Rowe gets off of the Brooklyn bench and runs down to the bullpen to start to warm up. It's now Allie Reynolds' ball game to win or to lose. And as it stands right now, it is Clem Labine who is getting these runs on his record. Great day in the morning. What a dramatic ball game this has turned out to be. And Billy Cox is scheduled to come up to the plate. Carl Furillo has batted in 2 runs here to run his RBI total on the series to 4. And Allie Reynolds now finds himself on an even footing as it is a 3-3 ball game between the New York Yankees and the Brooklyn Dodgers. Reynolds delivers. Cox takes a curve that's low and outside for ball 1. Got to talk a little bit up above this crowd. You can hardly hear yourself think out here at the Yankee Stadium this afternoon. The 1-0 delivery swung on by Cox. There's a foul ball hit right up over our Gillette microphone. Right out of play. The count on Cox is 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, let's see. It was a year ago, just about this very day, wasn't it, Gene, that they won 11 innings? Is that right? 1 year ago today. That's what I thought. I remember sitting right up behind this microphone. 11-inning ball game. And now it's tied here in the top of the 9th at 3 apiece, and we can well have those extra innings flashed here this afternoon. Who knows? The count on Billy Cox is 1 ball and 1 strike. Reynolds delivers a curve, and Cox takes it good for called strike 2. Broke it right over the outside corner at the knees. Billy Cox standing in just off the plate. Works up somewhat now on the handle of the bat as Reynolds gets ready. Only 1 out for the Brooklyn Dodgers, top of the 9th. They've tied the ball game up. Reynolds delivers. Cox takes a curve. Called strike 3. Nicely broken in and over. So that's the second out here for Brooklyn in the top of the 9th inning as Reynolds registers his second strikeout. Now coming up to the plate, scheduled to come up to the plate, is Labine. Let's see if Labine hits or whether Charlie Dresden is going to go with a pinch hitter. It's going to be Clem Labine. Clem Labine is coming up. Down in the bullpen, Preacher Rowe is warmed and ready. Dresden will probably keep him that way, too. Now Allie Reynolds ready to pitch to Labine. He does, and this right-hand hitter cuts at a curve. It's thrown in at the knees and misses for strike 1. This ball game has sort of been building up to this all afternoon. High curveball thrown under the chin to Labine. Registers ball 1, and his count now is 1 ball, 1 strike. Funny how you can sense things like this coming. At least you think you can. And a couple of fellows right here in the broadcasting booth leaned over and said, wouldn't be a bit surprised to see this thing go right down to the wire, go into the last half of the 9th inning. Well, that's assured right now. Pitch to Labine is taken for a strike. Count is 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Clem Labine. 2 down, the base is empty. The ball game has been tied up on Carl Furillo's 2-run home run poked into the right field stands. All tied at 3 apiece. Reynolds starts his motion. Delivers to the plate. Labine takes. Called strike 3. So that's off Clem. And that's all for the Brooklyn Dodgers here in the top half of the 9th inning. And let's see. 2 big runs for Brooklyn. Coming up on 1 hit. Carl Furillo smash to right field for a home run. There were no errors.
Nobody was left on. So the score at the end of 8 1/2 innings of play now is Brooklyn 3, the New York Yankees have 3. Well, as most Dyed & Wolf fans know, 6-4-3 on a scorecard means a double play from short to second to first. Scoring a game is easy when you follow the simplified system outlined in the Gillette World Series record book. Well, let's follow into the last half of the 9th inning with Clem Labine going back to the mound. Now, this is Clem's ball game to win or lose, as it is Allie Reynolds' ball game to win or lose. That strikeout, incidentally, by Allie Reynolds, getting Labine in the 9th inning, was his 62nd strikeout in World Series for a new record. Most strikeouts for one pitcher in a total series 61 by Red Ruffing. So Allie Reynolds has 62. That's unofficial, however. He'll probably come out. Hank Bauer up in the 9th inning. Clem Labine makes the first pitch to Hank and fires it through at the knees for a called strike. Down comes the next pitch, and Bauer starts to go for it and changes his mind and takes it low and outside. And the count now on him is 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the last half of the 9th inning. Bauer, Berra, and Mantle up in that order for the New York Yankees. So Clem Labine definitely has his work cut out for him in this 3-3 ball game. The right-hander delivers a fastball. It misses low and outside to Bauer for ball 2. Clem Labine, the Rhode Island Rocket. He's done some good relief work this year for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Now the kid has his chance of winning a World Series ball game. Delivers to the plate. Bauer takes a sweeper that's low and outside. That's ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count on Hank Bauer, the leadoff man for the Yankees in the 9th. Boy, if the movie cameras were grinding here, I don't think they could write a more dramatic script that has been unfolded here in this World Series play today. Curveball over to Bauer, just a little wrinkle, runs his count to 3-2. Bauer thought he had it. Started off at first base, but plate umpire Bill Stewart called him back. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Hank Bauer. Clem Labine rears back, delivers. Curveball swung on by Bauer and punched foul off the right field side. That's going back into the customers out of play. Bauer's count 3-2. Ball game about 2 hours and 50 minutes old as it stands right now. Labine ready, delivers 3-2. Bauer takes high above the letters for ball 4, so the possible winning run has been walked here in the 9th inning. That's the first base on balls given up by Labine. The 5th the Yankees have picked up off Brooklyn pitching this afternoon. Time is called while Yogi Berra goes down to talk to Frankie Crossetti, the third base coach. He's relaying the signs from the bench from Casey Stengel. Now it's Labine who finds himself in a spot here in the last half of the 9th inning, with Yogi Berra coming up. Yogi's had 2 base hits in 4 tries. He's had a double and a single. Wrapped into 1 double play and popped up to the second baseman. Down in the bullpen, it is Hughes. Now throwing and getting ready for Brooklyn. Jim Hughes. Yogi Berra hitting left-handed. Mickey Mantle on deck to follow. Nobody out, 1 on here in the 9th inning as Hank Bauer walked on a 3-2 pitch. Labine comes down with the pitch and it's swung on. There's a high foul ball hit back over our microphones again. This one gives Yogi Berra the count of strike 1. Hank Bauer staying pretty much glued to first base. Berra turns around, walks back as though he's going to take a trip back for the rosin bag or perhaps a new bat. He's moved on back to the bat rack. He's going to get himself a new one. Clem Labine continues to throw easily. Has to keep that right arm of his loose and limber. Outfield for Yogi Berra is fanned around to right and playing deep. Carl Furillo in front of the 344-foot sign out in right field, about 10 feet in front of it. Duke Snider in right center. The big hole in the outfield is in center and left center. Robinson playing a shallow left, right side of the infield deep. Cox is playing shallow at third. Pitch to Berra is outside and high for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count on the Yankee catcher. Crowd has quieted down considerably now. Boy, it certainly was dinning into your ears a few minutes ago. 3-3 between the Yankees and the Dodgers. Sixth game of the World Series, last half of the ninth inning. Bauer at first base, representing the winning run for New York. Labine delivers. Berra takes. Outside and high, fair ball 2. Charlie Dressen comes bouncing out of the Dodger dugout behind third base, wants to go out and talk to Labine. Signals he wants Roy Campanella to come up and talk with him also. So it's a battery conference with the MGR man as Reese, the captain of the ball club, comes wandering in from shortstop to get into it. Then it breaks up before he can stick his nose into it. Dressen going back to the dugout. Campanella stomping back behind the plate, and Clem Labine, slender right-hander, stands and waits for Campanella to get down on his crouch to pump the sign. Hank Bauer carrying quite a run there at first base. Taking no lead as Hodges holds the inside corner. Now he steps away. The 2-1 delivery to Berra. Swung on. There's a line drive hit into right field. Carl Furillo goes over, makes the catch, and Bauer hustles back to first. Berra hit a line shot into right field, and Carl Furillo handles it for out number 1. Mickey Mantle has gone 0 for 3 this afternoon. He's coming up now, hitting left-handed. He was walked intentionally in the first, rolled to second base to Gilliam in the third, and was thrown out, flied to center in the fifth, and flied to left to Jackie Robinson in the seventh. Labine looks down, watches Mantle get ready, hesitates, then delivers, and Mantle takes a pitch inside off the kneecaps, brushing him for ball 1. There's a lot riding on every pitch now. Bauer steps off at first. Labine checks him over the shoulder, delivers the plate. One looks like a screwball. It breaks away from the left-hand hitter and low for ball 2. To Mantle, his count is 2 balls, no strikes. 1 Yankee out in the last half of the ninth inning. They have the World Series winning run at first base in Hank Bauer, who walked to open this last half of the ninth inning. Labine working to Mickey Mantle on the 2-0 count. Delivers to him, and Mantle swings and doesn't get it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mantle, who yesterday unloaded a bases-loaded home run, grand slammer, to be the 4th man in World Series history to turn the trick. It's the guy at the plate right now. 2 balls, 1 strike is his count. The pitch to him is a curveball swung on and hit down the third baseline. Cox comes in a big hurry, can't pick the ball up. All hands are safe. And it goes a base hit for Mickey Mantle. A slow tapper down the third baseline. Billy Cox came in, had just one ghost of a chance to make the play, tried to pick it up, and by the time he did get the ball, it was too late. So the winning run has been pushed down out of second base. That is the 4th hit registered against the pitching of Labine. Now the Yankees have 3 runs on 12 base hits. Their winning run in Bauer is on at second base. 1 out in the last half of the ninth inning, and the batter coming up is Billy Martin. He's sort of been on a rampage in this series. He cracked into a double play, however, in the 7th inning, doubled to right in the 5th, lined to left for an out in the 3rd, and was a base runner in the 1st on an error by Gilliam. Right-hand hitter takes a curve that's over at the knees for called strike 1. That's sir, if Labine gets out of this now, it'll be something akin to the tricks of Houdini. He's got plenty of trouble here in the last half of the ninth inning. Runners at first and second, and 1 out. Score tied at 3 apiece. Labine delivers. Martin swings. Hits the first to the middle for a base hit. Here comes Bauer, turning around third. He's in to score. The Yankees are world champions once again. 4 runs for the New York Yankees. 3 runs for the Brooklyn Dodgers. What a storybook finish to this World Series. And Martin sets a new record for hits in the series. Well, it's really been something for Gene Kelly and yours truly, Al Helfer, to talk about this one. And the final score is 4 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Yankees. Brooklyn 3 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. In just a moment, Bill Corum will review the highlights of today's game for you.
The guy who set a new record. He gets the Kaiser record, I should say, with his 12th World Series hit. Battling Billy Martin from San Francisco for the finish for a World Series. Billy Martin, who tied Pepper Martin's record for 12 hits for a World Series. It's through the middle, scoring Hank Bauer, and in one of the most dramatic finishes a World Series has ever seen, one certainly that didn't go 7 games. The Yankees win their 16th world title in 20 tries. What a tremendous finish. Carl Furillo, then the hero, and then Billy Martin. Martin, the hitting hero of the series with his 12th base hit, tying Pepper Martin's record of 12 hits in a World Series. 12 base hits. And it's Billy Martin who drove in the run. And there are many records, but records don't count at a time like this, ladies and gentlemen. Your favorite reporters will have it all in the papers. In a few moments, we'll switch to Frankie Frazier, who will interview the New York Yankee players in the clubhouse, so be sure to stay with us. And the final score, the New York Yankees, 4 runs, 13 hits, no errors. The Brooklyn Dodgers, 3 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. And by the way, Allie Reynolds was the winning pitcher, tying Red Ruffing's all-time record of 7 victories in a World Series. And in a moment, we'll review the highlights of today's game for you. Yankees win their 5th consecutive World Series. They have won 16 World Series in 20 attempts. And for the Brooklyn Dodgers, for the 7th time, they have gone away empty-handed. The Brooklyn Dodgers, who have suffered so many broken-hearted defeats. Just in 1950, it took a 10th inning home run by Dick Sisler of the Philadelphia Phillies to beat them out of a pennant. In 51, in the 9th inning of the last game of a 3-game playoff, Bobby Thompson's home run in the last of the 9th inning broke the hearts of all of Brooklyn. Last year, Johnny Mize on a fine Yankee team did it again. And if that heart could stand it even one more time, it was broken once again by Billy Martin. And so the Brooklyn Ball Club suffers perhaps its most bitter and disappointing defeat. For there, just a couple of minutes ago, on the wings of Carl Furillo's home run, the hearts suddenly came together and the spirits were higher. Perhaps this might have been the Brooklyn club that would win the World Series. But then, in the last of the 9th inning, a walk. A single, a little nut single by Mickey Mantle to put runners at first and second, and 1 down. And Billy Martin, who has been the fly in the Brooklyn ointment all through the series, registered the base hit for the winning run. Billy Martin, with his 12 hits, ties the record for the most hits in a World Series, that by Pepper Martin. But his 12 hits in a 6-game series establishes a new record in that department. For the Dodgers, who left 49 men on base in the 6 games, there can only be heartbreak. This is not the World Series in which the Brooklyn club can say, wait till next year. This one hurt, and hurt thoroughly. So the New York Yankees with Allie Reynolds, although he was not exactly the effective Allie Reynolds of old, nevertheless, Reynolds picks up his 7th win to tie the record held by Red Ruffing. And so if time stands still, it stopped at Yankee Stadium, and it stopped in Brooklyn. And all of a sudden, on the base hit by Billy Martin, the Yankees were riding atop again, and the Dodgers, for the 7th time in their history, go into the dressing room a broken-hearted crew.
Well, Benny, first of all, it was a great pleasure associating with you on this World Series. It was a tough defeat for the Brooklyn Dodgers, who have played magnificent baseball to win 2 consecutive National League pennants, barely missing a 3rd in a row. But again, it was the old story of the Yankees, having always, somehow or other, won the big one, the one they had to win. And as I said last year, I think you can agree with me, Benny, the loser and the winners share equally in the glory in the World Series.
You're right there, Red. And great being with you. We'd like to thank Jack Murphy, the director, Stan Palasek, our technical director, and camera crew for a mighty swell job. Now, to wind up this World Series telecast, let's switch cameras to pick up Frankie Fish and some of those victorious New York Yankees. Frankie, take over.
Well, fans, the Yankees make it 5 in a row. This is Casey Stangel's 5th World Series championship, and what a ball game this ball game was today. Billy Martin, who's been playing tremendous ball, came through with a single in the 9th inning to score. Hank Bauer from second base, and brother, did that Bauer skip? Commissioner, come on in here, boys. They're having a grand time. How about that series?
Wasn't that something?
That was
a great series. How about that Billy? He played great ball. Remember, each show we were on, you said, who do you like to watch?
That's right.
I said Yogi and Billy.
Hey, they did a tremendous job.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Commissioner, you know, one Martin tied the other Martin's record. Johnny Leonard Pepper Martin held the record, 12 base hits in a series. and Billy Martin comes through. He had that extra chance and knocked in a winning run.
I didn't know that.
What do you think of the series, Commissioner?
Oh, it was a great series, Frank. It was a marvelous
You really
series. They had
enjoyed
2 great ball clubs.
Boy, those
I want to
managers.
tell you, I thought in that 9th inning the Yankees were in a little trouble.
That's
When
right.
they tied it up.
Well, the
I liked it.
Yankees beat a strong Brooklyn ball club.
Yeah, they were both great clubs.
Great ball clubs.
Lots of power, lots of ability.
Commissioner, thanks kindly for being with us. It's been delightful.
Thank you, Frank.
I know you've enjoyed it. It's been a great game. Always really exciting for an old guy like myself. Thank you.
Good to your heart.
Fine. Hey, how about some of you Yankee fellas coming in here? Gene Woodling. Gene, how about it? Very good, boy. You can't beat this. Let's make it fit. Young first, second. And here's the guy that pitched the first part of the ball game, and Grandpa finished it. Hey, what a job, Allie. What did Furillo hit?
He hit a fastball very well, and it was well in there. I knew it was gone the minute that he hit it.
Did it strike?
No, it was not a strike.
You made him hit the ball over. Hey, and this little guy here for those cities, you didn't get tired, did you? No, God. Hey, come on here. Hey, how many hits in this one?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know how many hits you get?
I don't know about you now.
Hey, Max, thanks for playing at third base. Yesterday you hit what?
One home and a triple, I think.
Oh, you got a few more than that. Lower line that you hit, wasn't that,
Home run.
where's your home?
Out in San Francisco originally.
Hey, San Francisco Army fellows?
Oh, yeah.
How about saying a few words to folks out in Frisco?
Hi, Mom and Dad. How are you?
Hey, Yogi, over in Jersey.
Well, my wife's over here now. Hello, kids.
Good. Hey, you didn't tire, did you?
No, Frank, I don't know. I was...
Do me one favor now. I want one good answer on that play at third base. What happened?
I tagged up too soon and started for home, and Snider hadn't caught the ball yet.
So anybody get in your way?
And that cop's trying to
I was good to be you, brother, and I couldn't find you. So where's that Ford? Adam?
Well, I'm very sorry. I couldn't save the game for Whitey. However, those things do happen in baseball. And a great thing, and a grand bunch of fellows.
Don't you think that's what makes the real ball club?
You can never tell. We're all out.
I mean, you fellas are real competitors, and one fella helps the other guy out, and that's why you win. Is that right? How many Yogi? 5?
This is my 6th. Five in a row, but I've been in 6 World Series. We won every one.
Hey, that's pretty sharp. I wonder what you're going to do next year.
Win again.
How long have you been pitching?
Well, Frank, it's a little too long. I think this is my 15th year.
This is what?
My 15th year.
Hey, tied the record.
Yes.
What are you pushing out?
I'm just excited.
Hey, what'd you hit?
I believe it was a sinker. Sinker, fastball, I believe. I'm not sure. I'm too excited. I don't even know who it was. They did good. Well, I get right to the box. Yes.
Next year, you know, if you two clubs play together, that Brooklyn club's going to find out and play you a little deeper. And you made a double play yesterday in the 9th inning to win that ball game. It was a terrific play. That right, fella?
It is.
Ball player. Hey, I bet you like it, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, thanks.
10,000 listen, boy.
What is the coach share?
I don't know. But they said it's going to be pretty good. Pretty good this one.
8,800.
8,800. That's not how you
That first hit made a difference of about, what, $2,500 a piece?
That's right.
Yeah, pretty nice.
I just feel fun of it.
Buddy Arthur Suskin is going to get here for us. We got to get Casey to say a few words. He hasn't had a time out there. Hey, what about tonight? Champagne, boys? You want to dance a little? You last year doing that, what do you call it, that samba?
No, I don't like the dance. Crazy people dance.
I don't know about that. I saw Billy dance around and make that double play yesterday.
He was good, but it's a pretty good one.
Is that right? Yeah. Where's your home?
Berkeley, California.
You know where you are, don't you?
Oh, yeah. All the way out there.
Out to California? Hey.
That's fun, huh?
What's going on there, huh?
They're watching over television.
Oh, television, huh? Well, that's wonderful. See, they can be proud of you, brother. You did a terrific job. And that goes for the whole gang of you. You did a swell job. And listen, fellas, Get in there and have a little fun now. It's swell to have you on the program, and thanks for your old flash. You've been swell. Keep going now. You've been doing a great job. Boys, that's quite a gang and a great ball club. No one of those guys win this. Reynolds says he's sorry he couldn't win for Whitey Ford. He went in there and he did the best he could. He did a tremendous job. And, well, the Yankees, 5 in a row. Well, you know, I'm a little proud myself. 19, 21, and 22, I played with the manager of this ball club with the Giants. You know, that's quite a thing at that.
This is John Miley speaking. We hope that you have enjoyed this game. If you want to know more about other items that exist in the Miley collection, call 1-812-479-9143. We will look forward to talking with you and hope that you are pleased with our presentations.